Well, YouTube, I want,
You're on notice.
Yes, I want a plague of some sort of insect to just wash in through the building that YouTube is housed in and just tear every person there.
Welcome to the Deadzone Podcast. Deadzone is the sci-fi tabletop miniature skirmish game from Mantic Games. And now, here are your hosts Rob Harper and Jack Pike. I am your announcer, William Randolph Wintergreen.
Welcome to the 29th episode of Deadzone the Podcast for February of 2015. In this episode, we talk about a bunch of stuff. As always, you can go to deadzonegame.podbean.com to see all the pictures, or you can also search YouTube for Deadzone the Podcast and see a video version of this episode, along with lots of mini episodes we do. And now on to the show.
Hey everybody! Welcome to Deadzone. This is the Deadzone Podcast, episode 29. My name is Jack.
I'm Rob.
And we are here once again to bring you all the news and excitement that is Mantic's game Deadzone.
It's balmy February in Canada.
So we're
not under 10 feet of snow.
Yeah, it's pretty close. We've gotten a lot more.
We're playing into the stereotype by saying that.
Oh,
it's beach weather out there, people.
But somehow we were able to do a lot more hobbying and gaming in this tropical paradise that is Canada in February, more so than ever.
It's pretty nasty out there. I think it's nasty everywhere, though. So
yeah,
maybe Florida's nice.
So why don't you get us started and let us delve into this podcast?
Okay, and first section will be our news section, as always.
We begin with our first segment, the news.
And there's a little bit of news, not much. There's not that much news on the Deadzone Kickstarter. It's pretty quiet. Too quiet.
Which is what I've been waiting for.
You're hoping I'd be like, it's announced.
Yes, I thought at any time now.
It could be any time now, yeah.
I thought that's where we were going to go.
The news is, though, Ronnie did post a video on on YouTube and Facebook about the plans for Mantic in the new year, or this year. It's not even a new year anymore.
So he posted a video for plans about what's going to come up in the new year.
Yep.
Big deal!
Why would you say that? It is a big deal.
Because fan service.
You're terrible. And, some of the news, we're focused mostly on you talked about all the games, but Deadzone, the news is Secret Weapons made boards for Deadzone, and now they're going to be, Mantic's going to be distributing them in Europe and England, so that people over there can get those boards.
And I did see the video, and he did talk about all the games. Deadzone didn't get...
Did you actually watch the video?
Yes, I did.
I'm amazed.
Now that YouTube is sending me emails that say someone you've subscribed to...
What is that?
That's...
Anyways, about the video from Ronnie, you were saying?
Oh. And yeah, the mention of Deadzone, this new train from Secret Weapon. Now, he had said Secret Weapon. I thought, I wonder if he's going to, like, the bases, the wash.
I thought bases at first.
Those are the two things that popped
in mind. But they had the Secret Weapon in the Kickstarter. The Secret Weapon boards were part of the Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
It was an exclusive thing, and I think they sell them on the Secret Weapons website. They're pretty expensive, I think.
I have not seen what they look like.
They're like the hard plastic, similar to the thing that we are still waiting for our Kickstarter, the Games and Gears battle boards. Similar idea.
Oh, okay.
And also GW does it for all their games. They're like, I don't know, I think they're 2x2, and you just add them together to make different boards. And these ones actually have grids on them, so it's Deadzone grid.
Well, if it's anything like the products we've gotten from them, the bases,
it's gonna be quality.
And it's quality. So
there's no denying that. I'm pretty sure we've seen some of. Was it one of our followers on Twitter sent us pictures, and part of it was, I can't remember who it was, though.
Oh, okay.
So whoever you were, let us know. Show us.
Please.
Take some pictures of those boards for us. And also, they said that every game's getting their own website. And this was something that they tried at the beginning, and they never really did. And now it seems they're focused on that now.
And I was... If my saying loudly "big deal" meant anything, it was for this very thing. I didn't understand. He went into detail about
He didn't explain it very well.
He went, okay, well, this one we'll focus on this, and this one will focus on this, and I thought that's for cross promoting and for having I'm of the mindset that one central location for all your information.
Yeah, but this is going to be more
Mantic.com.
Yeah, but this is going to be more for Dreadball's going to have all the leagues in it.
Yeah.
And Deadzone, they're going to have scenarios and stuff, and it's going to be, I think, a lot of user-generated stuff, so we can maybe send a scenario in. We did just invent a scenario we'll talk about later.
We did. As the snow flies, we've had a little bit of time to noodle some stuff together, and you might be surprised.
And, also a new resin line of scenery for Deadzone and Mars Attacks that they mentioned, which they didn't show it or anything. We have no idea what that means, but
it's in the works. It's on the drawing board.
So it's interesting.
Now, if that scenery does look cavernous,
I assume it's going to be more like boxes and crates and more like smaller stuff. I don't think it's going to be larger things.
Okay.
Yes, we do want for the next Kickstarter to have interiors looking like caves.
Caves for the vermin and for the dwarves and for the...
Just fighting in. Because we've discovered that fighting indoors is a lot of fun.
Anyone else who wants to live in a cavernous structure.
People going to Mars. That's the new thing. They
They
don't get that because you're in a cave.
That's right.
Anyway, general news also is the Mantic journals coming back. We've got a few Mantic journals in crazy boxes and stuff, and it's neat to have an official Mantic magazine. It's kind of fun.
I think it's something that...
It's maybe a little old school.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's something that GW did in the past.
And they still do. They still have White Dwarf, and they have another one.
But they used to do it well. They do it...
That's true. They used to do it well.
Shoddily now.
Yeah, White Dwarf back in the day, even before I even played games, I used to get Dragon Magazine and things like that. We played role-playing games originally, and I'd get White Dwarf because they had stuff in that too.
It was a fantastic...
Because it wasn't just about... Original White Dwarf was not just GW, it was everything.
And even just to have something to peruse for, visually, it was something. Back in the day, we're talking 20 plus years ago.
More than that, yeah.
Things were pretty sparse. You didn't have, especially here in rural Canada, you did not have a wealth.
There was no internet, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, no. But there wasn't game stores by the...
Yeah.
So, White Dwarf Magazine, I enjoyed.
Yeah. And also, the neat thing about, which I assume they'll do, is it had scenarios and new units, and they'd introduce them through there before they ended up in the books. And hopefully they take that kind of route.
And that's what I think would be the best... A kind of a revival, like you said, old school of that kind of mentality where you kind of just put out some stuff to keep people talking. People who don't necessarily go to the website all the time.
Because we do like the Iron Watch magazine, the fan magazine, but it's still a fan magazine. You want official ones with official pictures and new stuff. And the fan one's cool. It's got people showing their stuff off, but there's room for both, really. That's the thing.
Why not both?
Yep. And also that they said that Army Painter is teaming with Mantic for paints that they're going to have on paint ranges. I assume it'll be like the zombie side paint ranges and stuff where they have they'll have an enforcer paint range with all the colors you need to paint enforcers. That'd be cool.
Which brings up a point. Many episodes ago, I had asked for some suggestions on paints to buy.
Yep.
And
You still haven't bought paints?
Well, then my dog got sick.
Yeah.
And she took priority, and I have yet to make that purchase. But now Army Painter, maybe.
That's what I use. I love Army Painter.
Yeah, I was going to go Vallejo.
This thing, everything's good. Right?
We're going to Adepticon.
Yeah.
So there's going to be no shipping if I can pick up something there. If I've
Probably
got a
some
couple
good deals.
extra shekels and there's some deals. So that's why I haven't
that should be good.
committed. But anyways, in case anyone was out there wondering, when's that guy going to buy his paint? He was bitching about that months ago. Still haven't. Sorry. My dog, sick.
And he did post one image about a vermin chemist. So this is something to do with the upcoming Kickstarter, at least. It's a cool looking line drawing of the vermin remind me less of rats and more of like mole men.
Mole men. He looks like a rat man / mole man, but he has a respirator and goggles.
Big claws.
Yeah, I like the concept.
He's neat.
He needs a little trucker's cap on though, I think.
No, that's the you could get one off of one of the orcs. They come with trucker caps. And also we like to mention that our contest is still running. And it goes, and we finally set a date for the end of it, since we forgot to do that last time.
Yes, we are going to follow through. We have gotten some responses. We have gotten people. So yeah, we're going to do this official with all the official rules. We got distracted last time. I don't know if you, our listening audience, has noticed, but sometimes we do. In our witty banter, we do veer here, we do wander there, and we miss some of the crucial points. So now Rob is going to knuckle down. He's going to make this official, do what should have been done last podcast, and give you the deets.
Well, we gave the details. It's just now that we have an end game. But do follow us on Twitter at Deadzone Podcast and tweet my favorite hashtag Deadzone faction is whatever, and then put at Mantic Games and at Deadzone Podcast. Or you can email us at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com with your favorite faction with the subject Contest 1. Or you can post on episode 28, the previous episode to this, with your favorite faction. That's the easiest ways to enter. Enter, and you'll have a good chance of winning those fun little prizes. They're only small, but we'll get better. We're trying it out here.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, don't we have when's the contest going to end?
February. It's end of February.
The end of February, and it's open to
anyone. Yes.
And can you do any of those three things in any combination to maximize your winning potential?
You can do all those things in any combination to maximize your winning potential.
And last but not least, is it open to people who work for Vinland Old Time Radio Productions?
Technically nobody works for us because there's no money involved. But if you're asking if you can win, no, you can't win.
That is all of my questions. Thank you, sir, and please continue.
And speaking of trying things out, we also created a little web store. It's cafepress.ca/Deadzone Podcast. And it's .ca because that means with our exchange rate, anybody is going to get good deals.
Yeah, Americans, if I were you, I'd be purchasing wildly while our dollar spirals out of control.
And we'll have some pictures of some of the stuff we are offering there. We have shirts and dog shirts.
Apparel for you and your canine friend. We're looking at hoodies and...
Flasks.
A flask. That's hitting too close to home.
The flask is cool.
Yeah. So, I do have to get this out of the way. You whores! Yes. We're selling out. We want to see a little bit of just a little...
We just want to pay for our server costs.
A little server costs, and maybe I would like a Bentley.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Or you can go to our website. Also on the left-hand side, there's a PayPal donations too. We don't like to mention this stuff because we feel dirty. It's dirty.
You whores!
Yeah, but anyways, support us because we love you.
Yeah, we'll mention it in the future. These dirty, sinful things, but it won't be. It won't be too often. We're not going to try and get rich or anything like that.
Because we know it won't work.
But I want a Bentley.
Oh, why would you want a Bentley? Anyways, we'll go to commercial while we're discussing why Jack wants a Bentley.
Get you a little outfit, put a little cap on you, and...
I don't drive.
Open the door for me. It'll be fantastic.
You'll drive? I have to open the driver's side door?
You have been listening to the Deadzone Podcast with your hosts Jack Fike and Rob Harper. The Deadzone Podcast is dedicated to Deadzone, the tabletop miniature game by Mantic Games. Visit them at manticgames.com.
And we're back.
Thank
you, Wintergreen. That was a wonderful ad.
Yes, and whomever says that Wintergreen slows the show down, shame on you. It brightens an old man's day to hear that he is a functioning, productive member of society. Shame on you.
I'm on your side, but we can't get rid of him. Anyways, now on to shoutouts.
Shoutouts.
Take it away, Wintergreen. They hate it when we introduce them, too.
They do? Wintergreen, would you please give us the introduction to the shoutouts? Sir, at your leisure, please continue. Introduce. Thank you.
It is shout-outs time.
Our first shout-out is for, I like to say, our number one fan right now, Uber fan, Linda Ackerman.
Hello, Linda Ackerman.
And you can find her on Twitter at btgamer_winter. And she's not only a Deadzone fan, but also a Vinland Old Time Radio fan, that's like a really exclusive club. She might be the only one.
We're looking at a unicorn right there.
Yeah.
That's a rare breed indeed.
And she's out there evangelizing for us, and we'd like to thank you.
Thank you, Linda. I hear you're on the Twitters. You're on the cutting edge of
the Facebooks.
You're waving our banner high, and I applaud you. And Wintergreen applauds you. Wintergreen, do your new Linda Ackerman introduction. No, there's no.
You got your hopes up there, didn't you?
The one person was like, hundreds others were, son of a...
No,
why are you doing that?
And our next shout-out, we're going to give a shout-out to, on Twitter, his name is C_M_minis, and I don't know if we've ever shouted him out before, but we should, because he always sends cool pictures.
CM Minis.
CM Minis, and he does some Asterians.
Okay, we're going to take a look, and if someone wanted to see the pictures I'm about to peruse, where would one do that?
You go to deadzonegame.podbean.com, obviously.
Obvs. And just scroll down and follow along as we look at what looks like a fantastic pictures of Asterians.
Yeah, they're cool.
Like a rusted metal, but with white accents.
Ivory, almost.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And silver, they look like... They've got an aesthetic of, I don't know, like...
I don't know where you're going with this.
Like a mechanical... Like a clockwork... Steampunk. You've got your finger on the pulse. I
couldn't think of the word steampunk.
I'm just an old man who has these ideas. You know what I'm talking about. Without you to kind of verbalize my...
It's true, I always have to finish your sentences.
A steampunky, and now we're looking at...
Mercs.
Some mercenaries, very nice.
Yep.
Looking at the terrain back there. Ooh. Yeah, very nice. And who is this? This is, C_M_minis on Twitter. I like that black talon he's got.
Yeah, he's
there.
actually black.
He's a black talon.
Nastanza, though.
Yeah, I scrolled past the Nastanza just...
Our arch nemesis.
Yes, she did me wrong.
She did me wrong, son.
She broke my heart, and I am writing a jazz song about that very instance.
It's really heartfelt.
It is. Da, 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 da.
I hate Nastanza.
I hate Nastanza so much. Da, 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 da. It kind of writes itself.
She blew up my whole team.
Da, 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 da.
Anyways,
couldn't kill her.
And lastly, for our shoutouts, we have Tony Hopkins, who's been sending us emails previewing all his Beast of War terrain extravaganza, and he's listened to us while he's building.
Now, see,
and we finally could release the top secret pictures.
I enjoyed him in Silence of the Lambs. Now, the fact that he has so much free time to hobby outside of his acting career, the guy's played Odin, so, kudos to you, sir. Kudos.
I don't think it's the same one, do you?
No?
Maybe.
Okay, let us know.
Let us know if you played Odin. It just occurred to me. I didn't even click to that.
Well,
so here's...
my mind does work in strange and mysterious ways.
It does, obviously.
And, maybe you could buy me a Bentley.
Here's his first shot. He did a nice octagonal buildings. I like how he put the walls with the... it almost looks like a security area with the walls with the lights on it. Around the
one building, kind of ostracizing it with some outlying buildings around it.
And this is like a construction thing with just plates of debris and stuff. It's cool.
That is brilliant. That does look like a...
This is the tip of the iceberg of Tony's brilliance. Well, here's a overhead shot of one of his buildings. It's all different levels and different walkways.
I'm just looking at what must have been $1,000 worth of terrain.
Oh, I guarantee it's more than that. There's a lot. Wait, you haven't seen it all yet.
Okay.
This is just a small bit. That was the part we saw before on the side there.
This is like an infomercial. You've lured me in with the small details. Not yet.
Yep. Here's another shot of another building he built. Interesting way he used the different barriers and ramps and stuff.
All the armored bits from the different kits, all the railings, all the corners. He's got some, and they all have different colors, all different schemes, but the aesthetic over that entire board is the same.
Oh, you haven't seen the entire board yet, Jack.
You stop saying that.
Here's a shot of the washrooms. He gave us a preview of this one. But yes, he built washrooms for the enforcers here.
Couple water closets with some fences for privacy.
And
any washroom that needs a sniper on guard to keep you from...
It's a dangerous neighborhood.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Here's a long shot of the board. There's this big crane.
Now, we've seen the crane before, I think.
Yeah, he previewed it, but we've never been able to show it on the show because he was top secret.
That's right. This was going to go into the Beast of War.
He submitted it to the Beast of War, and I said, if this doesn't win... Because we thought it was just the crane, just the washrooms. No, it's a whole 6x8 board, it looks like.
Now have I seen the whole board?
Yes, this is the whole board.
We're looking at a 45-degree angle from one corner of the board across the other, with the crane kind of dominating the middle. And it looks like a parking garage in one spot. It's got buildings. It's got tall...
It's like a whole industrial city, like...
With multiple levels, too.
Oh, yeah. It's at least 6 levels high at some points. Well, not including the crane. I love the look of the crane here, too. It's not just a tower. It's got like a little...
mezzanine on that. It's got some...
It's amazing.
If this doesn't win...
That's why I said, if this doesn't win, it's only because they want to give them this much back out.
Either someone has created... I can't imagine what would beat this.
Yeah.
If there's any justice in the world, they will at least say, listen, this didn't win, but...
But here's another angle for it. We're looking the other way.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And, that's Anthony Hopkins, it seems.
Anthony Hopkins. Well,
we loved you in all your movies.
Each and every one. Except for that one where he was in that plane crash and...
No idea.
He had to fight a bear.
Isn't that Liam Neeson?
No, those were wolves.
Oh. Anyway, so it's, So, yeah, we think this is going to be the winner for Beast of War.
Yes. Now, we've been keeping those pictures under our hats because we didn't want any kind of...
he released it on Facebook this week, so we showed it off. He gave it permission.
Very nice. I hope that this wins sheerly out of the epicness, the work involved. Where do you store that?
It must just live wherever it is. On his kitchen table.
I see a TV in the background. Like, is there a couch?
You can't look past it.
Yeah, do you have to, look past this to watch television?
And, it's huge. But that's the thing. The prize is to get everything used back. They would make a shortage of plastic in the world. He might cause, some kind of economic meltdown on the planet.
There'll be many Chinese laborers killed in the vats of molten plastic trying to just...
I hope you're proud of yourself, Tony.
There are some deaths on your hands.
So, yeah, it's amazing. So, another quick break, and then we'll be back with our stuff.
Our stuff.
It is time for a brief message from our friends at One More Radio.
This is the Strike Zone.
Yo, Dreadball fans, the Strike Zone podcast is all about entertaining, educating, and informing you about everything Dreadball. We record twice a month, are an hour long, and are child-friendly. You can look us up on iTunes with the keywords Dreadball and Strike Zone, or on our main website, www.oremoreradio.com.
Enter the Strike Zone.
Welcome back to the Deadzone Podcast. Now for a segment we call Our Stuff.
And we're back.
We are back.
So I'll start with my stuff since I already have all the pictures up here. I made some Forge Guard dwarves, and they're shiny, and they're silver. Silver with a brownish wash on them to give them a more, antique.
That picture does not do them justice in the least.
Yeah, it's harder to... The flash makes them really more shiny than they actually are.
Your camera works miracles sometimes, but also can just completely destroy all the hard work. So you can see some of them look the way they really do, but the rest are...
Yeah, it's about the flash, I think. But yeah, you can see on the hammers and stuff, you can see the brownish wash.
We are not photographers. We do not have any way of taking proper photos, so...
And here's my Plague I painted up that I got from the Crazy Box. I kind of did it in the Mantic style, but I gave the Plague Stage 1 a victim to hold on to.
And your Plague Stage 1 is amazing.
He turned out pretty good.
He is amazing.
And I put some broken stuff on his base. Here's the other guys. And yeah, he turned out pretty nice. I was pretty proud of him.
He's a showpiece. He should be on a shelf rather than...
Yeah, I don't play with him too much. Plus, you have enough Plague to never have to use any other Plague ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you had mentioned you'd gotten one, I said, hey, my one regret was not posing him wildly, and you dismissed that outright, but you had something else in mind.
Yeah, the moment I saw his hand like that, I was like, oh, this will fit perfectly.
You put a corpse in one hand, and you made him stomping on a railing, so that it smashed a railing with the other. Like, you didn't move him at all, but you made him more dynamic than the standing pose. So I think you...
Yeah, I think he's pretty cool.
Yes.
And then you went zombie crazy.
I did go zombie crazy. Now, in the last episode, it was accused that I had lost Asterians and that I had lost zombies.
Did we actually say that in the episode?
You, on multiple occasions. Now, I already know where it is that I came up with the mech-on-mech battle. It was episode 24 at the 20-minute mark.
Johnny, he really, really keeps harping on this.
I'm just using it as a frame of reference for the fact that
you do listen to every episode like multiple times, so you're an archivist.
I am. I'm the Grand Maester of our podcast. So the Deadzone Podcast is well remembered in my own mind. But last episode you did lash out multiple times. I'm going to make a clip show again. One of these days when you're on vacation, when you're flittering about the globe, as you tended to do, next time there's going to be a clip show where I bring these topics up. Anyways, I was accused of losing the Asterians and the zombies.
Yeah. I
denied vehemently both. I was told that they were in a cardboard box in my spare room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
but you accused me of taking them home. That never happened.
No, he didn't take them home. He put them in his bag.
No, I put them into we have a battle, what is it called?
Bag. And he had put them in his bag.
Battle foam. We have battle foam bags.
And they were all properly labeled. Everything was there.
Yeah.
Well organized, but he left the bag in my spare room.
Oh, I always leave bag here, but I just forgot that I had taken out the brown box and put it into the foam.
So,
but we found it eventually, after getting more.
He left here, and I was like, okay, well, I've got to look. So I tore everything apart. So I started rooting through his own stuff, because at that point, I was publicly shamed on my own podcast. The Deadzone Podcast had become my shame.
That's what it always is.
No, it became your hubris.
Because I flew too close to the sun.
Your wax wings melted as you learned that I had discovered both
you found them. I admit
that
I had sort of lost them by being too organized.
Yes. So
we have tons of Asterians now.
A ton. So the Asterians we haven't painted yet,
or assembled most of them.
But we did implore our listeners as to a paint scheme, and we did decide on it. Now we have them. Now we will paint them. That will be revealed sometime soon, depending on when the great thaw is, and we'll be able to leave our houses and
prime things
in our independent residences. But I digress. That was a long...
Yeah. So you made some zombies, did you?
Yeah, I painted some zombies. Next!
So yeah, you painted, what, how many zombies was it?
I tried to count 30 zombies or something like that.
There's a lot of zombies painted.
30 plus zombies.
And they're not, like, mass-produced painted either, as you'll see the pictures here. Like, they all have their own characters. And...
A little bit. I changed the hot water treatment on the rustic, and just the way you could pivot the torsos. I tried to make them all look a lot different. I tried to make...
Although you discovered that there was female and male ones halfway through the process, so you made a lot of female models.
Funny story is, I assumed there was as many heads, torsos, limbs, and that all would make all the zombies. And I quickly realized that, no, they said, okay, well, some of the heads can look female or male. Here's a lot of female torsos. And so I looked at it.
In the end, he was like, I have a lot of heads and a lot of torsos and a lot of arms, but no legs left over.
Yeah. And then, you came to the rescue. You had legs.
Yeah, we have extra legs, so you'll make some more zombies.
So there's more zombies. So, take a look. And then I had a couple of goblin snipers from a while back.
Yeah, from once again, Crazy Box, I believe.
And I had modeled them, but I hadn't painted them. So, actually, I was going to paint them before the zombies found the zombies, so I painted them along with the zombies.
Yeah.
And the big story there is I had two goblin snipers, and both of them were the crouching one, not the prancing one that we love so much. Yep. I got in there and I made one of them standing up.
Yeah, he hot watered it to Make him look like he's standing up. Totally, looks like a totally different model.
I had to remove the cape that is behind and made a little dapper little jacket, and then made him standing up, made him walking across some debris. So, yeah, that's what I got to.
How'd you do that without instructions, Jack?
I don't need instructions.
Oh.
I'm not a child.
Oh.
In fact, I could have just painted him just the way he was, but what fun is that?
We already have one of those. So.
I'm in it to hobby, not just to have the toys.
Or have exactly what they put on Mantic's site.
Yeah. So
anyways,
that's what I have been up to.
Yeah, they look great. And they painted them up, and they're goblins.
They are indeed.
I don't know how many goblins we need, but we have a lot of goblins.
So that is that is my stuff.
That was good stuff. And we'll move on. We're going to have a little bit of a unboxing/review here. And we have to get set up for it, though. So take this break. We'll be right back.
It is time for a brief message from our friends at Iron Watch Magazine.
Do you like Mantic games? Do you want to read about your favorite games in a monthly magazine? Have we got the offer for you? Iron Watch Magazine. Iron Watch brings you the latest news, articles, and short stories taking place in the Mantic universe. Dreadball, Kings of War, Deadzone, Warpath. You want it? They got it. Ironwatch.wordpress.com. Get it now for the low, low price of free. You can't beat that at twice the price. That's ironwatch.wordpress.com. Download now.
Once again, the Deadzone Podcast. And now, a review from your hosts at the Deadzone Podcast.
So we're back with the little unboxing of something not quite Deadzone, but similar, and we'll probably be using most of this for Deadzone.
Yes, what I have perched on my lap now is the Dreadball Xtreme box set that...
Yep, from the Kickstarter.
From the Kickstarter. Okay, so I'm looking at the mat. This is the pitch.
Yep.
It's the mousepad-esque. A little
Just like-
thinner, but...
I don't think it's the same as Deadzone. No, you don't think so?
Maybe.
Ours is covered with stuff right now.
Yes. So it's got the mousepad mat. Very nice. A little bit bigger than I anticipated. When I see people playing the game, it doesn't look as big as I'm holding up right now.
I'm not sure if it's regular Dreadball has such a big pitch. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think it does. But it's I like the fabric. It's much better than just a paper mat or.
For sure, without question.
This first top bag here is just all the extra stuff from the Kickstarter. So there's a lot of stuff in here.
And what is it that I'm looking at? I'm looking at some. It's just a bunch of models in here.
Yep. You can open it up if you'd like.
I am going to open it up because there's a lot in here.
This is just the extra stuff from the Kickstarter, and all the bases that came with the extra stuff. Clear bases, clear hex bases with the extra stuff.
Clear bases so that you could, in the hexes themselves, you can mark off the facing, and also, because the round bases that come with them.
No, well, they're not round. They just have the base inserts. They're always hex bases.
She's got a jaunty angle to her.
Yeah, I think she got flattened.
Okay, and now I'm just...
He's another MVP from the Kickstarter. All these primed ones are not from this.
And to be honest, people, I don't even know what I'm looking at, so I can't even describe what I'm looking at, but I'm looking at Asterians, I'm looking at...
That's a Crystalline, I believe.
Crystalline? Oh, look at him. He's nice.
The MVP, he's the Crystalline MVP. He didn't come in the colored plastic. He just came in the regular gray. So these are all just mostly MVPs from...
Craw, and...
Yeah, with his wings cut off.
A little robot...
Forge Father. Yeah.
With a drill. Okay, so this is...
it's all the MVPs and things.
This is a big... Okay. But this is the extra stuff.
Yeah, it's all the MVPs first. And the MVPs in Season 4 teams for Dreadball.
Okie dokie.
So that is the Sephir and the... Sephir and... What's the other team we got? The Rebs. Sephir and Reb teams are in there.
Okay. Now, those are the ones that came on the extra
That's
bits.
Season 4 for Dreadball, yeah.
Okay. And look at that Teraton. That's a big...
Yeah.
That's a giant Teraton.
And those are from the original MVPs for...
Oh, aren't we going to give Dozer away as a gift? Isn't that one of the prizes?
I believe, yeah. One of the Dozers is, yeah.
Look at that. See how it comes around? Cyclical.
Cyclical. It's part of our contest prizes.
Yeah, so if you want a dozer, and it's a big model. That's a big guy.
It's a
Teraton size, but with like an armored, like it looks like the Teraton from Deadzone, but big arms, big gauntlets.
Well, we've used these too. We modded up some these dozers into Teratons. That's what our other Teratons are.
Yeah, but who would do that? Who would just take models and change them up and put them in another game?
That's true.
Did the instructions tell you to do that?
We're bad people.
Terrible. It makes me sick. I'm just going to put this away now. And now I'm going to look at the
book. It's very
book.
Beautiful.
Very nice. And are we going to be playing Dreadball Xtreme at any point?
Yeah, I'm sure eventually.
Okay.
Look at the nice printing, eh? Like pictures are very crisp. And
I like the pictures.
They get better and better every time they put out a new book. Mantic, the books look really nice.
And a little thicker than I expected for a game.
Because it is a new game, there's a lot more rules, new rules.
60+ pages and it's a pretty big,
Yep.
pretty big
gloss.
book. Okay. Well, maybe we will. And now I've opened up into the interior of the box. Now, what I'm looking at here is what came with it, right?
That's not everything in there actually comes with the game. If you buy it on the shelf, this is the Kickstarter exclusive stuff. Okay. So there's extra MVPs and stuff here. You can see these bases are different colors. These ones are yellow and blue, I believe.
So that you can denote different people.
Yep. And this is those are the Asterians team, and the other one are the criminal
Reds.
teams. No, it's criminals.
Criminals. So it's just whomever is a criminal.
Yep. They look kind of gladiators.
They do kind of look like gladiators. A lot less of the prisoner outfits that I anticipated, but
there's the
he's like a corporate guy.
Yeah. He's the manager. And Jack has impaled him on one of the guys.
Yeah. For those of you at home who just heard that sound, I was now playing with these toys. I had forgotten that we were doing a podcast. And now, and last but not least, now we have another pocket here with some bug people. And,
yeah, those are the MVPs. There's a lot of cool looking ones.
You've got a lot of models to paint.
You've got some models to paint too.
Oh, I like this guy. Who's that guy?
He's like a plant guy.
I like him.
And there's robots and stuff.
Robots?
The training robots. And tons of scenery, like neat hard plastic scenery and stuff.
So,
boxes.
All said and done, to be fair, we might give this a shot. How does this box that we've got with all these little bits, how does that affect us as the Deadzone podcast? What is it that this is meant to show me and allow our listeners to hear?
It's a new game?
No. It shows me that this guy here with a giant brain and a big carapace with a big thorax, this
needs
plant
stats
guy,
for Deadball or Deadzone? Is that what you're trying to say?
We've got space orcs. Foolish space orcs that look
you say
terrible.
Yeah, the potential of alien races that they've shown in Dreadball compared to what they've shown in Deadzone is much different, yeah.
And they've got this sitting around at the...
Yeah, they went a little conservative with Deadzone at the beginning. I think we're going to see more of this crazy stuff come out. There's like a spider guy.
Yeah.
There's quite a few different ones. There's even, I believe there's even one of the managers is a little well-known guy.
That looks like Blaine.
Blaine is the manager of the Asterian team.
Well...
Or I guess he could be a manager of either team.
Okay, well, hopefully stats will come for these plant guys, because they look awesome.
Plant guy stats.
And hopefully the Orc homeworld, when it is imploded by the Enforcers for, reasons, that the Crystallins and these creatures, these multiple awesome-looking creatures, make their way to Deadzone.
Yeah, there's tons of interesting ones.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that with me, Rob.
Yep.
I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing...
Yep, we'll paint some stuff up and have some fun.
Yeah.
So that's our little mini review for the Dreadball Xtreme, and we'll probably do a video one for the YouTubes. We've been doing more YouTube videos.
You have been. I have been remiss.
Yes. Jack will eventually do some.
Yes. In fact, maybe we'll do something this weekend.
But I did a Wave 3 unboxing for Deadzone last. Showed off our Asterians and Forge Fathers and Peacekeepers, and the Enforcer Peacekeepers and my Enforcers probably next time we'll show them off painted. And yeah, it was good times.
Good times.
And I don't know if we have one more break, but we'll take one, and we'll be back with our battle report.
Battle report.
You have been listening to the Deadzone Podcast. And now, a word from the fine folks at Vinland Old Time Radio.
So, you're listening to the Deadzone Podcast, and if you find us funny, and you enjoy our sense of humor, and you think that you'd like a little more entertainment, please visit us at Vinland Old Time Radio. Found where, Rob?
VinlandOldTimeRadio.podbean.com. It's where the funny lives.
And now, back to your hosts, Rob Harper and Jack Pike. We now present to you a Deadzone battle report.
So, back for some battle reports.
Yes, we did
We took some pictures of our games here.
We did have some extra time, and we've got inside all cozy, warm, and away from the elements, the howling winds and the driving snows of the outside to relax and finally get some playtime in that doesn't involve Adepticons, the games that will be played.
The fun
there.
will be had. We finally got to use our battle system sci-fi card terrain.
Yes.
Built a nice indoor board, and when we sat down and we're like, hey, let's try some different rules. So we invented a whole new game scenario.
Yes, we wanted to. It was the first time playing at an interior. We had freedom to do whatever we wanted.
We used our initiative rules. We used our Overwatch rules.
And
it was you were playing the Rebs.
Yes.
And I was playing Enforcer Peacekeepers. How many people do you have on your team?
9.
I had 3 people on my team.
Yes, and really the key, I think, what we played is more important than actually how it played out for the most part.
Yeah.
It's not the details of the battles themselves, but I think what grew out of
We'll explain
the
our scenario idea here.
Yes.
So we got it down, and we're like, well, we first thought we'll have the X, Y, and Z objectives, and we'll just go for them and try to take them out, infiltrate style, kind of. But then we're like, oh, but there's too many rooms. We'll never go in some of these rooms then. Because I think we had 11 rooms. And so instead we decided to make it that there's a new ability called Search. It's a long action, and you go into a room, and each room can be searched by each faction once. And you go in, you roll a d8, and the first room you searched, it's you have to roll 8 to find the item. And once you find the items, you have to book it back out any exit. That's the key.
Yes.
You can't search the first room you enter in, because that's just the entrance. But the other team can search that room, because it'd be different entrances. And every time you search a room, you get -1, or you get... Next time you don't need an 8, you need a 7 or an 8. Then the third room will be 6, 7, 8. Eventually you'll find the item.
It gets easier by a factor of 1 each room that you search. So to search more rooms means it's more likely you would find it, but it doesn't necessarily mean you can't find it the first room you search.
Yeah, and also as you search, since it's a long action, it takes that whole turn. You don't roll to see if you found it until the next turn. So the beginning of the next turn, you roll for each person searching and see if they found it. And when the item is found, that's going to be brought out of this little base. An alarm sounds like, theoretically, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, because
we wanted to make sure that each faction knew.
It was a way of saying why everyone in the building could then converge in the general exit area, or converge on whomever was just searching, or
because since you're rolling in public, we'd know when someone found something. It's not like you can hide the rolls.
There was no ability to hide the rolls, so there was no reason to pretend that it was
everybody
hidden.
didn't know it was found.
So a klaxon goes off, reep, 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 reep,
and then that model that picked it up, he has to get to an exit, but he can trade the item away. And if you go into a room with or into a square with a bunch of guys, you don't have to see where the item is. You just put a marker on one of the guys, a hidden marker, like under his card, or just something to know that it's him. And then so that you could do some ducking and weaving and some Statue of Liberty plays in there.
And it never happened for us, but if you have 3 guys in that room all searching, which
we don't, the other team doesn't necessarily know who has the item.
Which one was doing the search.
Yeah, which one ran over there with the item. And
we know which one would have been in Overwatch or which one actually physically did the search, but
any of the people can end up with the item.
You can give it to any of those guys, and then they can book it.
Just like transferring any item you can do.
Yes.
And Yeah, as I said, the deployment room is not searchable, just so that you can't find it right away in the first room you go into.
First room, like first round, I'm going to search. Next round, out the door without having moved from near space. That would have been.
Although some of the games were close to that happening, but not quite.
Yes.
But we also the booby trap card. We said that when someone searches, you can play the booby trap card on them. Everybody gets that in their decks. And it acts like that when they were searching, they tripped something or hit a secret drawer and it blew up on them.
A very, very reasonable explanation for whatever.
So they can still find, they're still searching, they can still find, unless they get knocked down or something, because you have to be alert to search. But they can still find the item, but there was a booby trap there. So it blew up. If they get knocked down, it disrupts their search. They have to start searching again.
Search again.
Because you have to be alert to search.
But you still, if you do search, even though it's booby trapped, you can still find the item.
Yeah. So it's this little fun, like, searching each room and trying to find it. And we played 3 games.
Best out of 3.
Yep. And because they're quick, because, it's only a certain size. The first game, we had a big fight in the main room. I happened to go into a side room and found the item and got out pretty quick.
That side room happened to have an exterior door.
Yeah, there's 3 doors in this whole thing, and that one just happened to have an exterior door. And then the second game, we switched positions, and you were in that main room, and there was like a mezzanine level. He jumped a guy up there, and we all fought, and I was killing tons of guys, and that guy happened to find the item, jumped down, ran right out the door.
Yes, I had Yindish. I had 5 Yindish, a Yindish sergeant, and 4...
So tons of agile going on.
And he just happened to be able to hop up there, did his search, hop down, and shoot out the door, and we had some good exchanges.
Yeah, and even though they're quick, probably each game maybe lasts half an hour, if that.
His guys were heavily armored, and I bloodied one, which was amazing.
Because I acted like the Terminator. I walked into a room and was like, he can't hurt me, and his Yiddish sergeant, point blank range, he just, by one die, he bloodied me. I have 3 armor. He was able to roll enough dice to get past my 3 armor.
Which was nice, which was, considering the way you were rolling, was
I rolled
miracle.
Really well. Yeah, that's the last game. That's what happened. I just kept rolling. We eventually decided, well, these games are ending quick, so we made a new rule where when you exit, you roll a d8. On a roll of 1 or 2, that door is locked, and you can't go out that door, and you have to go try to find another exit. And then the next one, it's only locked on a 1, and then the third exit's always unlocked.
Yeah, so
It was just a little extra so that you might have to, you get to the door, and you'd be like, oh crap, it's locked, and then have to run back through.
And we started where there wasn't an exit anyways. We chose 2 rooms that we had.
Yeah, this is the third game. We changed it a bit, yeah.
And we both started it into far corners that we didn't even get to the first game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the room I was put into was tiny.
So all his guys, because he had 9 guys just shoved into this little room.
If there's a picture, if you took a picture
of that,
of just guys wedged.
Yeah. And then there was another room beside that, and he moved all his guys in, and my guys had been able to get out, so I stood one of my peacekeepers right in the doorway.
And it took me, he just put a peacekeeper there, and I shot and shot and shot.
And shot, and finally
got him out of the way. But
he had a rocket launcher too, and it bounced off the armor. But what happened is he finally got his Sorak sword spawn in there. Sorak sword spawn just chopped off this peacekeeper's head like it was nothing.
But it gave you plenty of time.
But it did take all his guys to do it.
Yeah, all my guys a full turn of just blasting away while your other guys sauntered in.
Well, my one guy I had a peacekeeper with defender shield. He just stood in the room, and every time someone popped out, tried to slow him down. But my general, he ran into another room, and by that time, I only had 2 guys left. Jack had burst out of that room and was in about 4 other places to start searching.
It was monkey madness at that point.
So I knew that I had searched 1 room already, so I had a 7 or 8 on this next roll. And I was in a room with an exit, so I knew if I rolled a 7 or an 8, I could get this and get out. That was my only chance of winning, because there's no way I could get back and stop him. There's so many guys.
Because I had so many guys that I was just going to put into rooms and search, and even if
each one would be 1 easier, so eventually you would have made the roll eventually in that turn.
In the next turn, 2 turns, and then it would have just been me trying to run that guy out.
And he had every single one of them were Yindish, and they were agile, so they're super fast.
And no, you picked it up.
Yeah, I rolled a 7.
You had to take it took you 1 turn to get towards the door.
So I stepped towards the door, checked if it was unlocked. It was unlocked, but that checking to unlock was the short action, so I had to wait 1 turn. He ran every single guy into that area. He shot everything he had of me.
Everyone I could get there, move cards, agile, sprint. I sprinted.
And he first couple guys would blazed away at me to knock me down, so it would slow me from getting back up to get out.
You stood steadfast, got back up.
And then he knocked me down again, but then I used courage on my turn to get back up.
And
he used everything at me, couldn't damage me.
Could not.
I think at one point you were one roll away from doing it.
And then he just stood up and walked.
And
out
I kept
the door.
rolling 8s, and my saves were crazy.
Well, at one point I'm like, "What are you doing?" He took a picture of the dice and he goes, "Yeah, I'm on Twitter."
Yeah, I tweeted how good I was rolling, and yeah, I got out, so I won the best of 3. But my peacekeepers pulled it off. But it was every game. It didn't feel like any of the games were one-sided, since it was such a. You were fast and sneaky, and I was just solid.
I was pleasantly surprised at how fun the games were. We've had some adversarial games where it's just like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, one side is either dominating or it always felt like you were in it. Like
you always had a chance. You always.
And the only reason I won twice is because I got lucky. The first time I rolled an 8, I think, and the second time I rolled a 7.
But that's how I won too.
Yeah. But it could, both games could have gone longer, but we just happened.
Whereas people could say, "Oh, it's just luck." Well, yeah, but that's just the way it is,
fun,
and you can't really.
And we used our Overwatch, which worked great.
Yes, because
we've discussed our Overwatch rules. We'll put them up in the show notes.
Because I'm pushing for the initiative rules at least to enter the game.
Yeah, because it never really changed it, but at the end, if he had won initiative, it would have changed everything.
That's the thing.
And it happened a few times like that.
Our rule never varied from what Mantic would have wanted.
Yeah.
But that last one...
Butt clenching, like you said.
You rolled, and you had to get...
I think you rolled... I rolled 2 dice, and I had to get... As long as I didn't get... I had to get under 6 or under.
On one of those dice. I have 1 dice.
Yeah, then I rolled it. I said, oh, great, I'm going to roll 2 8s. And I rolled an 8, and then the other one was like a 5. So
it was a 6.
Was it? Yeah.
So, but if that had to 7...
Yeah. He would have had a chance.
I would have had my guys lined up in a firing squad, and it was just that brief moment where you, oh no, like it was. It's something that I think the game is missing, is that little bit of chaos, that little bit of inspiration.
And the Overwatch worked great indoors because he just had guys just inside of rooms, overwatching, like covering corridors, and I'd run up and he'd blast away at me, and
which I had made the army before we knew what we were doing, and it happened. I had a rocket launcher that had shockwave, and I had 2 Sorax with blasters.
Yep.
So literally any confined space, and I was a bigger hazard to myself than to anyone else. So
you did damage one of your guys, I think, with a
yeah. And at one point when you became a human door and just stood there, and I was clawing my little monkey claws at your armor.
That was hilarious.
Eventually, I just had to start blasting away at the doorway, and my own guys were like, yeah, it was terrible.
But it was really fun games. We had such fun.
Terribly fun.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so. I think we could tweak those what we had established today. See if that if the fun carries on without
we do love that battle systems terrain. Like
yeah.
We knew it was going to be fun, but we didn't know it would be this much fun.
We did a review for it many eons ago.
Yeah, when we first got the Kickstarter,
and we had never been able to use it, and it did change the game quite a bit. And if Mantic.
Interiors Mantic, that's all I have to say.
Yeah. At least for us, it really it changed the game immensely.
Before it always felt kind of like paintball. This felt like you're playing Aliens, the movie.
And the aesthetic is different, but also the play style, strategy.
That's what I'm saying. Like before, you're like when you're outdoors, it's a lot different play style.
And the strategies that showed up just doing what we did, like you wouldn't even need to use the rules we did, but just the strategies are night and day.
Yeah, it's much different. Trying to fight room to room and
skirmishing in the built-up areas of the battle zone terrain.
And you have a lot less snipers, and mortars aren't going to dominate. And
that's the thing. It changed it so much that some of the people, if you come in with an army that you have designed in, you're unbeatable. Yeah. My snipers do this, or my.
This was like, it was great. It gave everybody a chance, and
yeah, just to mix it up.
Yeah, and we're really looking forward to play some zombies on that board too.
Yes. So initiative rules. Overwatch rules, and
the Overwatch we have it so it's like it's much more like XCOM the game. and it worked great.
And we decided that if you're playing strike teams, you couldn't have any mercenaries, because mercenaries, I think, in that close combat, and
They might
run the table.
Yeah.
But we also, as soon as I said that and we agreed on that, Rob then came up with the brilliant suggestion, well, what if we just both had a mercenary?
Just ran one guy each through the thing. It's almost like role-playing.
Well, now we're talking like who would win situation, like
in a arena. Like, yeah, you're sending two guys in. But yeah, it'd be fun. Some merc on merc violence.
Merc on merc violence.
But it was really great. So yeah, check out the videos or pictures. You should have taken video.
We should have. We got to start doing some of that stuff.
Yeah. Try to focus more on our YouTube a bit this year. We'll see what happens.
Yes.
Just search Deadzone the Podcast on YouTube. You'll see some stuff. Hopefully it's getting better. And
your last video is the production value is increased. I like it.
And my next one is I think it's even better. So we'll see.
Okay.
And so we're gonna start wrapping it up here. And you had something to say.
I have one brief thing to say.
I quit.
This is my last podcast. All of you.
He's joking.
Am I?
I'll
I'll just
see myself out.
Good day to you, sir. Good day. I am going to take my Deadzone mug, my Deadzone mouse pad, and I'm leaving. No, about a year and a half ago, I had the good fortune of participating in something that I had to keep under wraps, and even Rob doesn't really even know that much about it. And I just want to do a little promotion. I just want to get the word out on something that I was involved with. So about a year and a half ago, someone that I knew through connections had found out that I was ex-military, and they were working on a pilot program. They were filming
at first, it started sounding like you were like some kind of test subject. And we went to another dimension.
Yes.
It was like Stargate, the beginning of Stargate, you were saying?
Yes.
Anyways, continue on.
No, this person has a production company. This production company has started something that, now, I'm going to bury the lead here. The stuff that I got filmed doing, they're not using it. They did 3 individual shoots, and for the promotion, they used the one that worked out the best. So I'm not in the
final cut.
The final cut that's being used to kind of feel out for investors or for someone who wants to do any kind of production on it. So if you're looking forward to seeing me, there's a introduction that does feature me in a couple. I'm going to send there's going to be links in the show notes. There's going to be it's on YouTube,
Facebook.
Yep. And so Facebook link and the YouTube link will be in the show notes, and I'm going to ask you to take a look. So if you want to see me,
you never really explained what it was. Explain what it is.
Okay. It's called Kill Shot, and what it is the way it was described to me to start out with, it was what would happen if some shadowy organization had gotten some ex-military people to compete one-on-one in a situation that had simulated rounds with real military ordnance. And it was... now, they were using paintball markers for this because this is only a...
test.
Yeah, this is the promotional thing to see a proof of
It's
concept.
kind of like a... I would say it's like a fake reality show that's supposed to take place in kind of a maybe futuristic kind of thing where, I don't know about futuristic, but at least in a underground kind of place where people are willing to go at each other in a
controlled circumstances.
Yeah. It's like rollerball and the same kind of feel as that in the Running Man, or
sort of. And it's now that they've since that time. Now from what I hear, I just did a rap party last weekend, and what they're getting is maybe that it should be a reality show.
Real reality show?
Real reality show. It's in its entirety.
So more like Wipeout, but in the arenas and...
Yes, and so it's going to be a little different than even what you see in the promotion, but...
Because the promotion, when they play it like it's real, like that's the promotion.
Yes, and So you'll get to see one battle, one fight. Again, in the intro, if you want to see what I look like, you're going to see me with a big welt on my head because I got shot in the head. You can see my feet moving across a puddle as I was tiger walking across a puddle. And you're going to see me peek over some stone blocks.
We'll put the time codes in the show notes
if you really have to do that. So basically, even though I'm not in the final cut of what they're going to be using to as a commercial to promote what could be Killshot, a show in the future.
Yeah.
I worked with R.D. Reed, who was in. He's an actor. He's a famous actor. He was in Half Baked. He's done
The Scientist.
The Scientist, and there was other ex-military people there. Some heavy hitters. Me, I was infantry. I learned how to dig a hole and live in it. Like that's
and drive vehicles.
Yes, and but there was some police.
Yeah.
Mixed martial arts. Some other big heavy hitters there that. And I'm old. My heyday was 20 years ago, so it was interesting to see what could happen, how people would react, and so I'm just gonna again just promote it. I'm gonna ask you to take a look, see, go on the Facebook.
Killshot.
Yes, Killshot.
Check it out it's on YouTube. You said
it's on YouTube. And we're gonna have the link down below and on Facebook.
I know it's like it on Facebook.
And I think I would love to see and hear that both of those get pummeled with people interesting, just an avalanche of our fans, even if it's just morbid curiosity.
Yep, just say, looks interesting, give some positive comments.
Yes, please do. They treated me very well, and if the only thing I can do for them to show my appreciation for being able to do something, it was fun to participate in, and for me to give back to them, to send our thousands of listeners, because we do have thousands of listeners, just to go there and just knock up the counter a little bit.
Yeah, give them a like.
Yeah,
give them a like, give them a share.
If you could do that for me, if that's all I can do for them, then I would appreciate it. So please do.
That's great, and we look forward to seeing more out of that.
Killshot, yes, and hopefully if someone picks it up, hopefully I get a chance to be on it again, do something with it.
That'd be fun.
Just to participate. So, again, thank you for indulging me, both the audience and Rob. I don't often do that, and...
That's right. Stop self-promoting yourself. Jesus.
You whore! Yeah, stop self-promoting myself, and then everyone, please buy a t-shirt.
And see us at Adepticon. We'll have some stickers and some magnets and stuff to hand out. Say hi to us.
Yes.
You can find us.
That's a whole other thing.
It's coming up. We'll talk more about it.
This show's going to run long. This is going to be a long show. But, hey, you don't mind. I don't mind. The audience doesn't mind. And we're going to have to do an Adepticon-themed run-up show.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll have all our information, and we'll get everything out, so anybody who's fans can actually find us, and obviously we'll be at the Mantic night, but yeah, this is too long. We'll wrap this up, and we'll just have to say, until next time, this has been Deadzone the Podcast.
Thank you for listening. My name is Jack.
I'm Rob, and Wintergreen, take us out.
Thank you for listening to the Deadzone Podcast. I have been your announcer, William Randolph Wintergreen. Visit the website, deadzonegame.podbean.com. Email your hosts at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com. On Twitter, you can follow the show at Deadzone Podcast. The Deadzone Podcast is a production of Vinland Old Time Radio Productions.
You didn't even look through all those guys.
Well, I couldn't. I was holding the bag way back here because our last unboxing was a shamble. was something that we should have been executed. We should have been taken out in front of a wall and executed. But look at this guy with the suckers on his.
Yeah, that's Squirtle or whatever his name is.
Squirtle?
Yeah, something like that. Here's one of those Desarin guys with the 4 arms and 4 legs.
And we get orcs.
I hope in the future we get some of these guys.
Because I would take every Marauder we have and just
put a girl with power armor.
Look at I like Squirtle.
And there's this Squid Girl's legs.
The plant guys. I think the plant guys is who I'd want to play in Deadzone. Crystallins obviously are awesome, and I've been looking forward to them.
Here's a plague guy, dead. I forget his name. He's like a zombie.
Oh, I thought he was a Crystallin.
No, he's a zombie guy.
Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
Lots of variety.
Yeah, and we got orcs.